Someone just paid $3,200 for a cardboard box. The manual was still inside. The floppy disks were still inside. It had been sitting in a closet since 1993. Stephen Kick, CEO of Night Dive Studios, recently told PC Gamer that the console market has peaked and serious collector money has moved directly into big box PC games. Here are 25 of them, counting up from solid value to the ones worth more than a month's rent. You probably remember Guybrush Threepwood. You probably do not remember what you did with the box. The Secret of Monkey Island, shipped with a floppy disk wheel decoder card, the kind of copy protection that made the manual mandatory to play the game at all. Most people who finished it kept the discs and recycled everything else. There was no reason to keep a box in 1990. That decision is now costing collectors real money. Complete in-box copies of the original LucasArts release sell in the $75 to $200 range today. When the first 3 Monkey Island games appeared together in a single auction, they pulled $280 combined. Sealed or graded examples push well beyond that. LucasArts made pirates valuable. It turns out the packaging was worth more than the treasure inside. LucasArts hid value in a decoder wheel. Sierra hid it in the hint book, and almost nobody kept the hint book. Sierra's adventure games came loaded with supplementary material you actually needed. Police Quest included official police procedure documentation required to progress through the game. Space Quest came with a thick manual full of in-universe lore and jokes that were also copy protection. Most people pulled out the discs, lost the hint book in a drawer somewhere, and eventually flattened the box. Big box editions from the early 1990s with everything intact now sell in the $40 to $150 range per individual entry. Complete sets and sealed copies reach the higher end, and the collector following for Sierra titles has been compounding for years. Sierra made paperwork valuable. Who knew the hint book was the most important thing in the box? MYST convinced millions of people to buy a CD-ROM drive. Then most of them threw away the box. The game came in. When MYST arrived in 1993, it became the best-selling PC game in history, holding that title for nearly a decade until The Sims overtook it in 2002. People bought it because their new CD-ROM drive needed something to justify itself. They played it, maybe finished it, and treated the box like any other software packaging. Original 1993 and 1994 big box releases now sell complete in-box for $60 to $150, with sealed and early pressing copies pulling more. The box felt utilitarian in 1993. Collectors know better now, and we are still nowhere near the games that crossed into 4-figure territory. Keep watching. MYST made puzzle boxes worth money. Dungeon Keeper made the Villains box worth money. Bullfrog let you play the monster in 1997, digging tunnels, summoning creatures, and torturing heroes who had the nerve to invade your domain. The Gold Edition bundled the base game and the Deeper Dungeons expansion into one complete big box release. Most people installed it, loved it, and lost the box in the next move. Complete big box copies of Dungeon Keeper Gold now sell consistently in the $50 to $150 range, with demand climbing steadily as Bullfrog's legacy earns more recognition every year. The villain got the last laugh. The box is worth more than the game ever cost new, and that is still the cheap end of this list. Every game from here forward costs more, and the jumps are not small. Bullfrog put you inside a dungeon. LucasArts put you inside a TIE fighter cockpit, and the box that came with it is now a collector's item. TIE Fighter was already the best space combat game LucasArts ever made. The collector's CD-ROM edition from 1995 added full voice acting, upgraded graphics, and the Defender of the Empire expansion, all packaged in one big box. Star Wars collectors and flight sim enthusiasts both want this one, and neither group is selling complete copies easily. New sealed big box copies are listed for around $150 on eBay right now. Complete open copies sell in the $80 to $120 range. The Empire flew for free in the 1990s, owning the proof costs considerably more today. BioWare was completely unknown when Baldur's Gate shipped. By the time people realized how important the game was, most had already thrown away the box. The original Baldur's Gate big box came with 5 CD-ROMs, a thick Dungeons and Dragons rulebook, and a large paper map of the Sword Coast. People cracked it open, pulled out the discs, maybe tacked the map to a wall, and eventually lost the rest. That original 1998 release now sells complete in box for $60 to $190. The Collector's Edition and the Gold Edition variant, which bundled the base game with the Tales of the Sword Coast expansion, pushed toward and past the top of that range. BioWare arrived unknown and left with a franchise. The box from their first night is now worth $200. BioWare shipped a map inside the box. Bullfrog shipped proof that they could reshape reality, and most people threw it away. Magic Carpet was a technical showpiece dressed as a game. You flew across fully deformable, three-dimensional terrain, reshaping the landscape in real time while battling rival wizards across 52 levels. The engine was genuinely revolutionary for 1994. The box it came in was treated like any other software package. Magic Carpet Plus, from 1995, bundling the original game with the Hidden Worlds expansion, now sells sealed for around $100 on current eBay listings. The Gold Edition draws similar collector interest. Bullfrog proved their point in 1994. The box that held the proof is a 3-figure item today. There is one game still coming on this list that nobody wanted when it came out, was considered the worst entry in its franchise, and is now worth $1,500. Rarity rewrites the story every time. Stay with it. Magic Carpet proved what a PC could render. Diablo proved what a PC could make you do for 6 hours without stopping, and most people never looked at the box again. Diablo shipped in December 1996 in a big box that held the disc, a Gothic manual, and a folded map of Tristram. Players installed it, and the clicking took over completely. Complete original big box copies now sell in the $100 to $250 range. The bundled Diablo and Hellfire big box release has sold on eBay for around $190. Sealed copies push higher, and the number keeps moving as Blizzard's franchise keeps expanding. A franchise worth billions started in a cardboard box that people treated like packaging. It was never just packaging. Before number 17, hit subscribe right now. We cover exactly this: what old games are worth, where the collector market is moving, and which boxes in your attic are worth real money. You do not want to miss what comes next on this channel. Back to the countdown. Blizzard redefined what you would click on. ID Software redefined the entire space you move through, and the box they put it in is now worth up to $1,500. Quake was the first fully three-dimensional World ID software built. They paired it with a Trent Reznor soundtrack and a multiplayer ecosystem that launched competitive PC gaming as a serious activity. The big box full registered version is what collectors specifically want. An acceptable condition used copy has sold for around $115. Very good copies land in the $200 to $270 range. A factory sealed copy is listed at $350, and one notable sealed listing sits at $1,500. ID Software put the future of online gaming in a cardboard box in 1996. The sealed version is 4 figures today. Quake built the arena. System Shock built the world that taught designers how to fill one, and almost nobody bought it at the time. You woke up on a space station run by a rogue AI named Shodan, who had already killed the crew. The level design was three-dimensional. The objectives were non-linear. The audio log storytelling format that BioShock would make famous a decade later started right here, in an Origin Systems big box sitting on a shelf in 1994 that most people walked past. The complete box with all original materials in good condition has recently sold for around $300. BioShock got the credit. System Shock built the house. The original deed cost $300. System Shock built the world. Fallout 2 built the wasteland. And the box from 1998 is now worth more than most people earn in a day. You can buy Fallout 2 on Steam right now for $3. The physical big box from 1998 with the disc, the thick manual, and the special system documentation all intact now sells for around $400, according to documented collector market data. Most people installed it, played it through a cracked CD drive for years, and forgot the box existed entirely. That gap between the digital price and the physical price is one of the clearest signals in this whole market. $3 on Steam, $400 in a box. Same game, completely different objects. $400 feels like a lot right now. By number 7 on this list, you will think $400 sounds cheap. The sequel doubled the price. The original that started everything commands the same $400 and carries something the sequel never can. It existed before anyone knew what Fallout would become. The original Fallout launched in 1997 in a big box with the disc, a thick manual, and documentation for the special character system. Players installed it, treated the box as a delivery mechanism, and moved on. Today, with Fallout a billion-dollar entertainment brand, with an Amazon Prime series, watched by tens of millions, original big box copies of that first 1997 printing command, $150 to $400. The relic from the year, it was just a game nobody was sure would sell, is exactly what serious collectors are hunting for. The box that shipped before anyone knew what was inside it is worth $400. That is what first editions do. Fallout built a franchise from a box. Diablo 2 sold 1 million boxes in 2 weeks, and somehow almost none of them survived complete. Diablo 2 launched in 2000 and immediately redefined the action RPG sequel. The loot system pulled players across 5 acts for hundreds of hours. Lord of Destruction, the expansion that added 2 character classes, and the endgame content the community still plays today, completed the package. The Diablo 2 exclusive gift set big box, which includes premium packaging and a poster, has sold on eBay for around $140. Sealed or graded complete sets push toward $300 and beyond. 1 million boxes sold. Almost none survived intact. That scarcity is exactly the point. Diablo 2 sold 1 million copies. Planescape, Torment sold almost none at launch. The complete box for each of them is now worth roughly the same amount. Black Isle wrote over 1 million words for Planescape in 1999. You played an immortal amnesiac named the Nameless One, navigating a surreal city at the center of the multiverse and piecing together who you had been across multiple past lives. The game asked philosophical questions most studios would not dare attempt today. It was overlooked at launch and spent a decade being reassessed as a masterpiece. The original big box, with the Game of the Year edition being the most sought-after version, sells for $80 to $250 complete. A sealed gaudy big box sits at the top of that range. 1 million words. Almost no sales. Now a $250 box. The collector market does not care about launch numbers. If you had a PC in the 1990s, there is a real chance something on this list was in your house at some point. The question is whether any of it survived. Keep that in mind as the prices get bigger. Planescape put 1 million words in the box. Origin Systems put a cloth map, metal coins, and a solid Ankh in theirs, and most people lost every single one of them. Ultima Underworld arrived in 1992 with a fully 3-dimensional first-person dungeon. a real physics engine, and environmental interactivity that no other game had attempted at that scale. John Romero cited it as an inspiration for Doom. Warren Spector worked on it before creating Deus Ex. Origin packed it in a big box with a cloth map of Britannia, metal coins, and the Ankh. People cracked the box open, pulled out the trinkets, scattered them across different rooms, and lost most of them within a year. Complete big box copies with every original insert now sell for $200 to $400. Two of the most influential designers in PC history said this game changed how they thought. The complete box they were inspired by is now worth $400. And you are still not at the games that crossed $1,000. Those are coming. Origin put collectibles in the Underworld box. They did the same thing with Ultima 7, and the result is one of the most difficult complete big boxes to find anywhere today. Ultima 7 arrived with cloth map, metal coins, an Ankh, and a full hint book inside a box that also contained one of the most ambitious world simulations PC gaming had attempted. NPCs ran independent daily schedules. You could bake bread from raw wheat. The Fellowship, the villain organization at the center of the story, was a direct allegory for cult behavior written for adults. People separated every trinket immediately and scattered them. A complete auction of Ultima 4 through 8, with every trinket intact, sold recently for $1,200. Individual complete Ultima 7 big boxes fetch $150 to $350. Origin put collectibles inside a collectible. Most people treated them as packing material. The ones who kept everything together are sitting on $350. Origin numbered their Ultima boxes by reputation. BioWare literally printed a number on every collector's edition box they shipped, and most people still did not keep them complete. Baldur's Gate 2 earned a score of 95 from PC Gamer and a villain, Irenicus voiced by David Warner, that players still debate as one of the best-written antagonists in RPG history. The collector's edition came with an art book, a making of DVD, and a jewel case in a numbered box. People opened it, watched the DVD once, put the art book on a shelf, and separated everything into different places. A complete numbered collector's edition is currently listed on eBay for $190. Sealed examples with low production numbers push beyond that. BioWare printed a number on every box, so you would know yours was special. Most people still did not keep them together. The complete ones are $190 minimum today. Everything from here up crossed into four-figure collector territory. The next 5 entries are a completely different conversation. BioWare numbered 62,000 boxes. Blizzard made StarCraft a national sport, and the collector's edition from that era is now a $1,600 item. StarCraft launched in 1998 with 3 asymmetric factions and a multiplayer scene that would eventually fill stadiums in Seoul and draw television audiences measured in millions. Brood War, the expansion that added new units and the competitive balance changes the professional community used for 20 years, came in a collector's edition with premium packaging and bonus materials. A VGA-graded sealed copy of that collector's edition is currently listed at $1,609 on eBay. Ungraded sealed copies command several $100s. Complete in-box used copies start around $300. A game that became a televised national sport shipped in a box you could have bought for $50. The sealed version is $1,600 today. Blizzard put a national sport in a box. Cryo Interactive put a folding sandworm on theirs. And that box recently sold sealed for $1,125. This is not the Westwood Studios Dune that spawned Command & Conquer. This is Cryo's entirely different adaptation of Frank Herbert's novel, a hybrid of point-and-click adventure and 4X strategy following Paul Atreides, organizing the Fremen of Arrakis against House Harkonnen. The visuals were lush, the soundtrack was cinematic, and the big box with its folding sandworm front flap was one of the most dramatic pieces of PC game packaging produced that decade. A sealed CD-ROM copy with that cover recently sold on eBay for $1,125, as documented by PC Gamer. Complete used copies start in the $300 range. Cryo put a folding sandworm on the box and called it packaging. Collectors call it a $1,125 piece of art. Cryo put one game in one dramatic box. ID Software put 19 games, a hardbound book, metal dog tags, and a t-shirt in one box. They made exactly 10,000 of them. The ID Anthology was a limited run containing the complete ID Software catalog up to that point, including Doom, Doom 2, Quake, Wolfenstein 3D, Heretic, Hexen, and every Commander Keen title. The professionally bound history book, the actual metal dog tags, and the branded t-shirt were all included before the industry had a formal vocabulary for what a collector's package was supposed to be. Because production was capped globally at 10,000 units, finding a mint condition example today is genuinely difficult. Complete mint copies sell for up to $400. ID Software invented the collector's package before anyone called it that. 10,000 boxes exist in the world. Yours is worth $400 if you kept it clean. ID put 19 games in a box for collectors. Bethesda put one game, a pewter figurine, and a soundtrack disc in a box, and someone just paid $2,500 for a copy that was missing the disc. Morrowind was Bethesda's first fully three-dimensional Elder Scrolls game and the template that Oblivion and Skyrim built on. The island of Vardenfell gave players an open world unlike anything they had explored before. The collector's edition came with a pewter Ordinator figurine, a making of DVD, and a full soundtrack CD. PC Gamer documented a confirmed sale of a copy missing only the soundtrack CD that still closed at $2,500. Complete and sealed examples go higher. One missing disc brought it down to $2,500. Imagine what the complete version is worth. Bethesda charged a premium for their collector's edition. Capcom charged normal retail price for Mega Man DOS. Almost nobody bought it, and now a mint copy is worth $1,500. Mega Man DOS was a third-party PC port of the NES original that compressed the graphics, altered the gameplay, and disappointed almost everyone who played it. It was widely considered the worst entry in the franchise and had extremely limited retail distribution. For decades, it was a trivia answer, not a collectible. Then collectors started hunting for it and found almost nothing. A mint condition copy sold for $1,500 in October 2021, as documented by PC Gamer. A sealed copy is listed at $1,625. It was the worst Mega Man game. It sold in almost no stores. That is exactly why it is worth $1,500. Rarity does not care whether the game was good. Nobody missed Mega Man DOS. Everybody played Doom, and the big box is still worth over $3,000. Doom was released in December 1993 and changed what people believed software could do. The engine was licensed to dozens of other developers. The modding community it created was the origin of game modding as a mainstream practice. The violence sparked congressional hearings. John Carmack's code was studied in universities. The physical big box is now a confirmed four-figure collector's item. PC Gamer documented asking prices above $3,000, with the highest confirmed eBay sale being a sealed shareware version that closed at $1,825. Mail-order copies with original ID software packaging are among the most prized. Everyone played Dune. Almost nobody kept the box complete. The ones that survived are $3,000. Doom sparked congressional hearings. The game that Doom learned from is worth even more as a complete box. Loose, without the manual, it is still $1,400. Wolfenstein 3D shipped as shareware in 1992 and in full retail form through Apogee Software in 1993. You played BJ Blazkowicz, fighting through 6 episodes of Nazi Castle Wolfenstein in corridors that felt genuinely dangerous. The enemies reacted. The secret rooms rewarded exploration. The experience was viscerally new. XDA Developers Collector Market documentation puts the numbers plainly. A loose box without complete original contents is valued at around $1,400. A complete copy with every original material intact averages $3,200 and has sold for more. Without the manual, it is $1,400. With everything inside, it is $3,200. Every piece matters, and most people threw the pieces away without a second thought. Wolfenstein built the template for the most valuable games on this list. Number 1 has nothing to do with any of them. Most people have never heard of it. The sealed box is worth $3,000. Zach McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders was developed by David Fox and Matthew Kane at Lucasfilm Games, the studio that became LucasArts. You play a tabloid reporter uncovering an alien conspiracy to make humanity progressively less intelligent by corrupting telephone signals. The game travels from San Francisco to Mars, features some of the most inventive puzzle design of the era, and influenced an entire generation of adventure game designers. It had limited distribution and modest sales. Most people who owned it briefly, lost the box immediately, and forgot about it entirely. Physical copies are extraordinarily scarce today. Vendors ask $400 to $700 for the Commodore 64 version. The DOS edition sold for $937 in a documented PC Gamer transaction. The Japanese localization with its manga-style box art fetched $963 at auction. A sealed original in top condition reaches $3,000 or more. A game most people skipped in 1988 sits at the top of this entire countdown. The rarer the miss, the bigger the price. That is the whole story of this market in one entry. Go check your attic right now. If anything on this list is up there, do not touch it until you know exactly what you have. Subscribe so you do not miss what we cover next.